Good morning, folks. This is Austin with AB Construction coming to you live on location from a project we're about to get started here on the west side of Springs. You can see behind me here, we've got this garage, what's kind of more like a storage shed, maybe a garage in the 1920s. We're going to be tearing this down, and we're going to be doing an attached garage that today's cars will fit into. Attaching to the house here and enlarging this. This is currently a 14 by 20. We are doing a 25 by 25. Going to be attached to the house and with access going down into the garden basement. We're doing out here today just to do some site work, site preparation. There's a lot that's going to go into this before we actually get started. Our plans are currently in the building department for review. So while that's being done, we're trying to get ahead of the game here and just trying to get things ready. So when we got the permits, we're ready to go. So we take a look out here, what we're talking with today. This is John, our project manager on site for this one.
How's it going, guys? Got a lot of excavation that we're going to be doing since we're changing the entire footprint of this garage. We're putting in all new footers all the way around the perimeter of the garage. And what that does is it's going to create a lot of dirt. And we were going over, me and Austin here, where we're going to be storing the dirt. Now they do offer, there's quite a few places around town that will take dirt, but it's around $30 a cubic yard. So we're trying to mitigate the costs on that by seeing where we can store it on site. Coming over here, we got this nice plot of dirt right here. It's already had some dirt storage on it prior. We can utilize this temporarily. This main thing you want to do is where it's meeting the street, you want to create a barrier. So as there's rain, wind, whatever you want to say it's coming through, we don't want all this dirt going into the street and then going down to the main sewage, clogging everything up. So we're going to be putting up some batter boards going through here to contain the dirt runoff, fence this whole area in, keep it safe for everybody, and also it's very handy for us for backfilling around the foundation pour.
Yeah, basically that's what's going to help us out too. We don't have to have the added cost of exporting the dirt and then having to bring it back in. So we just try to think about that, the most economical ways to get it done. Prior, if you're doing a project like this, if you have the space on site to store your dirt, because you're going to have to put it back, this all the better. It just helps with the cost of your project. That's probably one of the most expensive parts of the project is the export and import of fill. So we've got a couple of spots. This is one. We're going to also use another section over here in the driveway. We can probably figure about 80 to 90% of the dirt we can store on site. So that's going to really help us out a lot. So let's go in the backyard and see what we're making preparations for there. We'll peek inside this garage here real quick. One of the things we need to consider is where are we going to store everything that's in here when we demo this out. I'm going to walk through here. As you'll see, we've got quite a bit of stuff to move here. So we've got to put all this stuff somewhere. So we're getting ahead of the game. This has got to be moved out and temporarily stored in another location while the new garage is being built. See out here, we got our guys already working on the process of building our temporary structure that's going to house all of the stuff that's in the garage. Temporary structure here to get that going, and we had to move some stuff in the backyard too to make room for this, and also to make room for our building materials, as we really want to make sure we got our materials in a secured position. So that's one thing we're considering.
Another thing about this is the homeowner has a dog boarding business. So what that does for her is when she has a family that needs dog boarded while they're going out of town, this is the backyard where the dog runs around. She doesn't do any kennels unless the customer feels like their dog's more secure in a kennel. Most of the time they're spending their time in the backyard. So what we got to do is we got to make a temp fence, because this fence is going to go, that garage is going to go, and this fence back here is going to go. That takes away from all the containment in the backyard. So what we're going to do is we already have a couple of plans for temp fencing up. That way she can still do her dog boarding business and not have to worry about any security issues.
Okay, now we're going to go on the inside and take a look at what we're going to have to do there, because it's going into the house. So we've got to make some accommodations there to make sure we keep the inside of the house functional. Right this area through here is where the entry from the garage is going into the house. So we're going to go inside. Something else we got to consider with this one is we got some prep work and furniture to move in there. So let's go take a look and see what we've got going on inside. Okay, the owner, who also happens to be my mom, that she's the owner of Brown.
And my mom as well.
There you go.
That's right.
And so she's the one we're doing the project for. So she's the owner of Brown's Preferred Pet Care since when?
1993.
All right. Licensed with the state and everything. So really great in-home pet boarding business. So as you were saying, that's part of the things that we're having to accommodate for this project. So let's go downstairs and take a look on what we're going to have to do down here.
So this is the basement area. This is going to be right where this bed is going to be the access point to the garage. So we have to prep this area. We've already talked with my mom. She's wanting where everything's going to be placed. So we have a lot of moving to do first. This right here is going to be where a stairwell is. Now for code, we have to have this heated stairwell. So there's going to be a little bit of work into here. So what we're going to do in the meantime, that way this is still a livable space, is we're going to create a temp wall all the way around pretty much to where this supply vent is. Wall off this area completely. That way this is still livable and undisturbed area.
So as you can see, we've got quite a prep work to do before we actually break ground, and we're getting started on that now, just so we can have, when we get the permits and everything's ready to go, the plans have been approved, we can go ahead and get started. So yeah, a lot of stuff, the things to consider, especially when you're tying in an addition into an existing house. Other things to consider: do you have pets or anything that you're going to have to work around, because we're going to get into the yard? So just a lot of things to consider before the actual project gets started. So as always, there's things to consider. Project update. This one will probably be, it'll probably be about a month before we do another update on this one, just because of all the prep work that gets to take place, and we're still waiting our plans to get approved. So until next time, the next update, this is Austin with AB Construction. And remember, quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
Thanks, guys.
Ready for more? Subscribe and never be out of the construction loop.